I got two more, and this series of dummies will be finished. This will show you how dangerous some of these guys can be who they put over these jobs. But you got to remember, they putting these guys over these jobs for a reason. It's a reason they want people with no experience and no education. And I don't think this will show why they do it, but I know why they do it, so they can dabble in the budget. You know, the people, the big people can dabble in the budget because they figure these dummies can't read budget sheets and all that and follow money because they ain't been trained. But anyway, one day I was on vacation. The worker called me and they said, "Man, look at Donkey to see, can you tell what this is?" They showed me a picture. Donkey had a bunch of soles around his mouth, all around his mouth. I look it up on Google, put the image in Google, and I called the worker back. I said, "Bub, that herpes." I said, "I put the image in Google and it come back herpes, right?" He said, "Damn, man, that crazy, man." And he said, the boss got Donkey doing the ice every morning. I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Donkey ain't did no ice in 2 or 3 months. But as soon as he get that stuff around his mouth, the man making him do ice every day." I said, "That weird, man, but I'll be back to working 4 days, you know." So I go back to work, go to my desk, you know. The first thing the boss say, "Hey, bud, Donkey got herpes." I said, "Yeah." I said, "But they say you got the man doing ice every day, boss. Why would you let him do ice and he got herpes?" Well, the golfer don't know because by the time Donkey finished, they just be coming him. And I say, "And you think that's a good reason?" I say, "We got like 17 workers here. And you let the one who got an active STD do the ice, jerking his hand in the ice cooler, jerking his hand in the water cooler." Well, like I said, as long as the golfer don't see him, right? So Duncan doing the ice, so I decide to feel like I want to help him do the ice in the bathroom, right? So I'm riding along with Duncan. Duncan grows my arm itching. Then he do the ice because he scratch with the hands he do the ice with, you know. And he scratch and then he scoops some ice and scoops some ice and water, scoops some ice and water, and and I'm like, oh my God, man, this is a nightmare. Why these people is so hard on water in the water cooler? The simplest thing you can do. They're already, in my words, screwing up. Because I never had a man who doing the bathroom doing the coolers. But that's what they do. The guy who clean the bathroom do the cooler, and he doing both at the same time. Imagine the man cleaning toilets and plunging toilet, and then when he leave there, he go put the cooler up to drink water. You know, it just don't look right, man. It just ain't right. To me, it's unsanitary. But anyway, I go to the ball. Ball, man, you can't let nobody else do that ice, man. I say the boy just scratching his face and then he'll scoop the in the water cooler and then he scratch his face and I say, man, that ain't right, man. Well, as long as the golfer don't see it. But one day, Duncan was doing the ice, and I was there. I forgot what I was doing, but I was just happened to be in that area. And one of the pro shop workers saw him. And the pro shop worker say, why is they letting you do ice and you got active herpes? Man, won't you gone, man? Won't you gone? You know that what Duncan told him, right? And not everybody talking, all the workers. And they say, man, I ain't never drinking the water out here no more, man. It's just too much going on with the water. At first, the ball washers in the water cooler, and now this man got herpes. And the boss lady, this man do the ice every morning. Say, man, this place just ain't right, man. Right? So Donkey come in. We having lunch. And Donkey just keep doing that. Next thing I know, Donkey got a hand on my shoulder. Hey, man, get your hand off my shoulder. Man, you got that stuff, man. You keep cracking your mouth. Then Donkey say, and I jumped up. And I'm ready to fight. And I told my boss, hey, man, you need to talk to him. Because he one of them person, if he got something, he want everybody to get it, right? And Duncan say, well, you see, Migo, you my cuyado. I know you got insurance. And you can go to the doctor and get medicine for the both of us, I said. And I said, bro, you think this is a joke? I said, you think it's a joke? I said, look here. If I get herpes, your family ain't gonna see you no more. Cause I ain't finna get no herpes, bro. And they ain't active. And the reason I ain't active because I don't want to catch nothing. So nothing come of that situation. Donkey continued to do ice until he got fired. But just to fight ills, you got a man in charge who's supposed to protect the workers, the golfer, the homeowner, and environment. And the only thing he was worried about, as long as the golfer don't see him. Golf course for dummies. Gonna save millions of lives one day. I'm gonna be the only black leader who saved millions of white people. Because if you play golf and live on golf courses, trust me, listen to the golf course for dummies. Because it's gonna show you what y'all dealing with on these $1 million high class resorts in country clubs. You're playing with your life. I want to live 100 miles within a golf course if I were rich. Thank you and God bless.